Hey, it's Elaine. This is episode 25 of the Red Pill to Orange Pill Investor. And I'm going to go into a little bit of how I view red pill and orange pill, but got to talk about Tesla first. So Tesla got wrecked. It's hilarious how Tesla can get wrecked after a positive earnings call, investor meeting, uh, tech day, battery day, all this shit. Uh, Tesla can just go south on great news. If the investors don't hear margins are coming up or the new model, pictures of the new model, whatever, uh, they just pee themselves. And do my best to pick up some more cheap shares, but thought I might discuss red pill and orange pill a little bit. To me, orange pill is just red pill money. And in the matrix, the choice is between living in an imaginary world or waking up and living in reality. And Thomas Sowell actually wrote a book about this. I heard some people, when they were saying this was woke or that was woke, they were challenged and said, "Oh, well, what does woke even mean?" And sometimes people have a hard time defining it. But Thomas Sowell wrote a book called The Conflict of Visions, and the red pill is the constrained vision, which means you operate in reality within the physical limitations of physics and science and gravity and all of those things. And the unconstrained vision is the blue pill, which means you live in a fantasy world. And if you think you can just rewrite the code to change the attributes, the inherent values of things. And the blue pill wokeism rears its ugly head in a number of ways. But that's the basic conflict, is between people who will live in reality or the woke, which will imagine that they can conceive of bending reality to some ideal that they have. And it doesn't really matter if you orange pill first or red pill first. These realizations will kind of gain momentum, and you begin to realize and begin to see other bits of, I guess, fraud in various areas. So you can get orange pilled and realize that Bitcoin is the only uncorruptible, honest money that's ever been created. And then when that happens, you start to notice that the government doesn't have the authority to do a lot of the things that it does. Moral, ethical, logical, any of the above. And the best argument that I ever saw from it is that the government doesn't have the right to do anything that its citizens don't have, because you cannot grant your government rights that you don't have. So people say that we have consent of the governed. So if you have the right to do something, then you could transfer that right to another person, say a politician, to vote on your behalf. But if you don't have the right to do it, then you cannot transfer a right that you don't have to another person. Just like I don't have the right to use my neighbor's home, I can't delegate that right to the government to use their home and maybe claim it under eminent domain and build a highway over it or whatever. So once you start to live in a constrained vision in certain areas, you start to reveal these inconsistencies in other areas. The climate change scare, that's not necessarily that climate doesn't change, of course it does, but you start to watch debates between scientists and you realize that the ones that want you to sacrifice this or pass a new law for that are basically full of shit, and it's just all about fighting for your mind and control your mind. We got the DEI, diversity and woke crowd saying we need diversity of physical appearance, but the constrained vision would generally prefer diversity of ideas. So you could have a room full of people that look identical, same color, same sex, but if you're having a brainstorming session, you want different ideas being floated. So the diversity of demographics is meaningless. It's the diversity of ideas that's going to help. Does you no good to have one person of every shade of skin color if they all have the same idea and it's just a monolith of thinking. The other one's the medical industrial complex. The academic research papers, these industries kind of operate in tandem and pretend to be the science when there's no such thing as settled science. You can attempt to prove something a million times in a row, but it only takes one experiment to disprove something. So we all felt the effects of the unconstrained vision during the harmful lockdowns, mandatory vaccinations, people losing their jobs, people losing their livelihoods. I see it in the anti-meat rhetoric out there, and trying vegan, reading vegan books, and listening to people who are for keto and carnivore. It's pretty clear to me when I see someone who's red-pilled about individual liberty. They're red-pilled on climate change. They're red-pilled on diversity. They're red-pilled on the medical industrial complex. And then those same people are coming out and saying meat's not bad for you. And the same crowd that's lying to you about everything else is also saying that the world is, going to hell because of animals when there's giant machines plowing over mice to collect your crops and spewing fossil fuel toxins into the air out of the exhaust. It's just insane. And I'm not even saying that people who want to eat plants shouldn't be able to. I eat as many as I like, but it's the people who are exclusionary, and it just becomes painfully obvious once you red pill yourself in one area. You just see the same patterns emerging in other areas. So that was a little bit of philosophical stuff, but I guess that's the name of the series, Red Pilled Orange Pill Investor, and that's how I see it. So for me, the constrained vision tells me that if I limit my upside for premium, selling a covered call. Let's just look at Tesla. I went ahead and added calls that expire tomorrow. Wait, sorry, those are long calls. Those are leaps. It's only a partial week, so collect $57 on this one at the 197.5 strike. So I will just add this to my buying power, and then next week I will sell something, if the price doesn't change, something approximately in the 1% range, so maybe right here, the 192.50. Collect $195, and I can buy another share of Tesla if I want, or since I'm so close to my margin call, I probably will just stand pat. But that's it. Limit my upside for a greater chance of success. To me, that's in line with the constrained vision, and the unconstrained vision to me are people that are just like, okay, let's buy a lottery ticket, let's buy a call for tomorrow. I bet the price is going to go over 185. I got coin flips chance of doing that. To me, that's a recipe for disaster. Unless you have a proven strategy. I guess if you're a momentum trader or something, and you see something happening, and it's clear for you. I guess if you see a glitch in the matrix and you can take advantage of it, go for it. But that's it. That's all for right now, and be good, y'all.